What's going on, guys? It's Jeremy Hopper here. Today what we're going to be doing is making a copy of a key in a clandestine fashion. This is a very simple technique that utilizes very easy to obtain components. And just to show that this lock does work, this is a master lock number 3. It's just an old lock. So that lock does work. Just to prove that there are no tricks or no gimmicks to this. So with that said, let's get started. So our first step will be to mark this key in a fashion that will allow us to transfer the pattern. And to do this, we're going to use a common man Bic lighter. So we're just going to heat up or apply flame to the key. And all that we're looking to do is to get a nice layer of black soot, just like this. So before I can move on, I just have to let this key sit here for a few moments and cool down. So we're going to take a piece of Scotch tape, carefully lay it down on top of the key, press down. If we do this correctly, we now have lifted the print. And now what we're going to do is take a thin piece of material. This just happens to be a thin piece of metal, about 5/1000ths of an inch thick. You can use old credit cards, thin pieces of plastic, pieces of tin cans that food comes in, and we're going to apply it to our material. So now the next step is just to cut the key out, and for that we can use some common man scissors. Okay, so we have our key that is, or our copy of our key that's cut out. So now what I'm going to do is just take a water bottle, roll it over top just to flatten this out. There is our copy of our key. So now what we're going to do is put it in the lock, and you can see this lock is secured. Sometimes this can be a bit finicky because this is not a precision copy. So I'm just going to try to carefully work that key in. Pull out. Okay. Now because this material that I'm using is rather flimsy and I won't be able to turn that lock, I'm going to use a small flat-headed screwdriver. I'm going to stick it in here to the keyhole. I'm going to try to turn this. Let's see what happens. It's being a little finicky. So we're going to take this back out. Try rolling that flat again. We'll have another attempt at it. Okay. Put in our screwdriver. Let's give it a turn. And there we go. Just that simple. Not really. This is a very simple technique. However, as you saw, it can be a bit finicky. And a large part of that is just the precision of the cut on these keys. Because we're using nothing more than some scissors to do this with, and your naked eye, which is not always that precise. So and that's what our key looks like. I've decided to repeat the opening of the lock, see if my success rate's a little bit better than before. You can see that that is secured. So I'm going to take that copy of the key, get it into the lock, take my little screwdriver, Put it into the keyhole and give this a turn. And there we go. I had a much greater success rate this time around. But that's to be expected because that's not a precision copy. But with that said, with just a few basic components here, screwdriver, a thin piece of metal, some Scotch tape, a lighter, and a pair of scissors, you can make a copy of a key in the field and have a pretty good success rate. So with that said, I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something from this, and I will catch you in the next video. So long.